Welcome to Sweet 230,
where real talk meets real growth.
It's Kaylin,
Ashay,
and Jewel.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to Sweet 230.
where real talk meets real growth.
I'm Kaylin.
Ashay.
Jewel. And we're excited for today's episode. So we're going to be talking about quarter life crisis. So today's episode title is Quarter Life Crisis Club. Is it real? How to overcome it? So let's get straight into it. I'm going to get into sweet things first. So let's talk about our week. So how is everyone's week?
Yes. I feel like we haven't had a proper catch up this week outside of podcast stuff. My week was good. I was in office 4 times this week, so physically and mentally very tired. But you know, just girl things. I'm in Virginia right now for my little brother's birthday, and I'm gonna spend the weekend here. But my week was good. It was very productive. I feel happy that the weekend is almost here.
Yeah. My week was good. I took 2 tests this week. I don't know if I told y'all this. I took 2 tests for med school applications. It was a whole lot. I'm so glad that's done. Yeah. But overall, it was good. We're busy.
How long were those tests?
Each a little over an hour.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
One was 186 questions. It gave you 30 scenarios, and then each scenario had 5 to 8 questions associated with it. So and the other one was 11 questions. So it gave you 11 different scenarios, and you would have 2 questions with each one. They were all situational judgment tests. I'm just glad they weren't the MCAT. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything is better than the MCAT.
Yes, real life questions. Real life questions and not
Yeah.
all the science stuff.
Yeah. How was your week, Jewel?
My week was a lot. I'm glad that it's more calm now, but I would say I had 2.5 exams this week, 2 major ones and a smaller quiz this week. And I guess it's exam week, so it's been a lot. And so just trying to first, I guess, figure out how each professor does exams. So trying to be properly prepared for the exam.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot every week. So
that's good. I feel like we all did something crazy this week, so we deserve to celebrate in some form of way. So do something good for yourself this weekend. And if you guys are listening and you also had a crazy week, enjoy your weekend. Do something nice, special, relax, whatever.
Oh, speaking of something I did this week to treat myself, I drove nearly 40 minutes to get to this coffee shop that I seen on TikTok. So honestly, I just needed a drive. So I think that itself, the drive was peaceful, and then studying at the coffee shop was nice. So that was pretty
I think
cool.
I seen you post that. What's it called?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it was Psalms Coffee.
Oh, nice. That's so cute.
Yeah,
Is coffee good?
Post. Better look cute.
Yeah, the coffee is really good, and I got a Danish. And then it was a Christian-based coffee shop, so they had on the wall a prayer board where people had encouraging things up there, or it was different prayers that people had that they wanted people to pray for them for.
That's so cute.
Wait, I love that. That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
That's very creative. I feel like I haven't seen a coffee shop like that before.
All right. Should we get into...
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should we get into our topic?
Yes.
So
quarter
the
life
first
crisis
question: what was you all's biggest wow, I'm grown moment for real?
My biggest wow, I'm grown moment?
Graduating
when I started paying bills.
Was it major bills or any bills?
I haven't gotten there too much.
When I started paying you know what my biggest wow, I'm grown moment was? When we were in college. And for people that don't know, I'm going to put Kaylin business out there with mine, but me and Kaylin were on a scholarship that gave us a stipend in college. And it was essentially a lump sum of money that you have to manage for the semester. And my biggest wow, I'm grown moment was, okay, I got to take this money. I got to pay my rent. I have to survive, eat, groceries, whatever, books, anything I need for school. And I have to figure out how I'm going to manage this. My mom kind of just let me manage it on my own. And I think that was my first time managing a bigger amount of money like that on my own. Obviously I had her help, but it was like solely like in my control. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm grown. Cause like if I fuck off this money, excuse my language,
Yeah.
I'm fucked. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
now that
that
I
was when I
think
was
about
like,
it, that was, like, kind of a lot because we were getting, like, thousands of dollars each semester.
tens of
They're just like,
dollars.
"Here." Yeah, and if we were
Do whatever
irresponsible,
you
it'd been
want.
so easy to mess up. We woulda gotten evicted from Maple Ridge. Thank God we're responsible.
No, but literally, like, so that was when I was like, okay, I'm grown. Like, this is a very adult. Like, this is how adults maneuver in life. And I think I've had a series of other moments after that, but that was when I was like, okay, I'm an adult for real. Like,
Yeah, your first taste.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about
I
you
would say
guys? What do you guys?
mine was kinda like graduating college. I feel like at that moment, I was like, "Dang, like, it's like
True.
actual real life after this." Yeah, so I
True.
would say that for me.
Guys, we ball. We ball. I think I cried at everybody graduation. We all graduated like like on different days or like different
in one
times.
week.
Mhm.
Yes. I think I cried at everybody's because I was
I
just
Yeah.
like,
did
it's
not
so
cry.
real. You didn't cry?
You didn't cry?
No, it didn't
You a
hit
tough
me.
Jewel
cookie.
was happy.
I
Jewel was
was ready to
Jewel
happy.
was like,
go. I
"Thank
was ready
you
to get
for
off
my
that
diploma."
mountain.
She
I was
snatched the
ready to
diploma. She
go.
said,
I'm off this mountain. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
She said, "I'm getting out of here. Love you. Bye."
and you
Yes.
keep that trash too. Thank you.
It's just like it didn't connect, but like once I really realized like I feel like one, I'm like, dang, I should have been more in the moment because like it is a huge feat to graduate college and then like all of us are first gen. So that's a huge thing to graduate college. And I feel like I definitely should have been more excited, but I feel like I was just like, I'm ready
We're
to
done.
go. Like I'm ready to
Like,
go.
I'm
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and also I feel like it just didn't hit. Like it just didn't hit like, okay, I really graduated. So
Yeah. You know when I think it really solidified it for me though? Like, because you graduate and then you have summer. And we're used to having a summer break in school already. I think that next fall when we didn't go back to school and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
like it's like out in the real world, that's when I was
Mhm.
like, okay, this is like for real. Like
Yeah.
this ain't even
yeah.
summer break no more.
For sure, for sure. I think my grown moment was like after college because I guess like for me it didn't really hit. So it was like I think the first moment was when I decided to withdraw from my master's because it was like I didn't so when I first withdrew, I didn't tell anybody, like, literally I told my sister, but, like, I told my advisor and my sister, and, like,
You
for a
didn't tell your
week,
mom?
no, I sat in it because, like, this was, like, the first decision I truly made on my own, and honestly, at first, I wasn't fully 100% sure, and I was like, "I don't
Hmm.
want to be swayed in any way without, like, fully knowing, like I just wanted to fully feel confident in my decision before sharing. So basically when I realized, okay, it's no point for me to re-enroll, like that's when I was like, okay, like I can go ahead and start telling people. And then I felt really confident about it. Like it made me feel like, okay, I really have like I choose the way I want to live my life, whatever I want to do. I think the response of my parents, I think also was like the moment where I realized I was grown. When they're just like, okay, seems like you have it figured out. That's a good decision. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, so y'all don't care that much?
Right.
True.
Mhm.
True. I guess as you get older, the response from your parents do kind of shift a little bit, and that does signify like, okay, I'm an
Yeah.
adult, like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
especially I
then
know that
like,
moment, like, you doing that on your own, because like, as kids, we're so used to, like, our parents kind of making decisions for us or playing, like, more of an
yes.
active
Hmm.
role in that. So I know you doing that on your own was definitely like, "Whoa."
It was hard because that
Yeah.
validation, like you're saying from your parents of like, okay, that was good. And it's like the validation is still nice to have, but knowing that like, okay, I still have to ultimately make decisions for myself. And I think the next part of that was like then deciding to go to nursing school and moving. And I remember telling my dad, and he was just like, oh, okay. Like it was no like, oh, you're moving, you're doing this. It was okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
glad. Like
Like,
it wasn't
did they
like,
really question you like too much on it, or was it just like she's got it?
yeah. And I think
That's how you
like,
know they trust you too.
yeah,
That
it is
is
a
a
good
big sign.
thing.
Like
Mhm.
they're very confident in who you are and who they raise. So it's not even a matter of like them having to clock your every move. It's like she good. She got it.
Yeah. She got it, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I guess if I
That
look at
is
it
Yeah.
like that, because 'cause I'm
beautiful.
like, I told my dad at first I was trying to keep certain things from him and tell him like bits and pieces, and he was just like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So when do you move? When is?" I'm like, "Hold on, man. Why are we talking like we friends?"
Like, you're not gonna ask me, like, anything?
Yeah,
Right.
The hard
No little lecture,
question?
nothing.
Right. No, that is beautiful. I think that's definitely a sign of, like, I'm an adult for real. When your
Yeah.
parents look at you more like a obviously, you're still their child, but look at you more like an adult in their own way as well. They're not looking at you like a child.
for sure.
So, do you guys feel like with this whole conversation and with this whole episode title in general, do you feel like you are either in or have gone through a quarter life crisis? Like, what are your
Yes.
thoughts on that?
I feel like I started my quarter life crisis at 22. And I feel like a lot of because I've been sitting on this a little bit. I feel like a lot of it has to do with my career goals because of
Mhm.
how like much it takes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with that. Like I have so many moments where I'm like, what am I actually doing? And
Yeah.
when is this all gonna like come together? Yeah.
Right.
So I would say 22 at the ripe age.
Because you kind of have to lock in, like, with you wanting to, like, pursue med school, that is, like, something you kind of have to lock in on early. You don't just wake up one day at, like, 25. I mean, I don't know how the process works,
You
but you kind of have
could,
to
but it would
have
be
that
harder.
decision made.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's something you've had your mindset on and you've been actively working towards since undergrad. So,
Truly, before like high school, you kind of gotta know like, okay,
Oh,
I want
true.
to
even
come
then,
to
like,
undergrad like
and
True.
I
a
gotta
certain way.
take these class. Yeah. Yeah. So
Exactly.
ripe age of 22 for me. What about y'all?
I say 22 as well, or 23.
Yeah. I am, like, in a controversial place about it because I don't really know if I am in one, unless I'm in denial.
Yeah.
But, like, I
Ah,
don't think
that's the first stage of a quarter life crisis, actually.
Or
No, I'm
you
playing.
don't know yet.
denial? I don't
You may not
know.
know.
Like, there's a part of me right now where I'm like, "Okay, I'm working full time, like, this is working for me." You know what, though? I did hit a quarter life crisis with when I started working my first job out of college. Y'all, I was literally on Kaylin's birthday trip, landed in the airport. I get called that
Oh,
I'm being laid off. And that was a very hard time for me just because one is my first job out of college. I didn't know what a layoff meant. Like, I didn't know what my next steps were. I'm rethinking everything. Like, I moved to New York. I'm like, do I stay in New York? Do I move back home? Do I stay in fashion? Do I go back to like, I was going through like a lot of things like in my head. So I want to say like that was like a very much like a crisis time for me, but I do feel like this is like I guess more of like the calm down period after that, and I'm like now settled in my career a little bit more. There definitely are things that I still am contemplating, like, do I want to go back to school? Do I want to further my education? Obviously, I don't see myself working in fashion or living in New York forever, so what does that look like? But I don't really consider that crisis. 'Cause, like, those are all things I feel like I can work through and be okay. Like, I don't really think I'm, like,
yeah.
in a place where I'm like, "Oh my god, like, what
What's
does life mean?"
happening? The room is
Yeah.
spinning. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't really know if I'm in a crisis. I think I'm definitely a girl in my 20s, so I'm still, like, dealing with
That's
that.
crisis enough.
That's crisis enough. Yeah. But I'm not, like, completely, like, turned about, I would say.
Yeah. I think I would say like 22 or 23, and I think the same. I think mine is career related. So like shifting um from my master's to now nursing. I think like that whole like switch. I think one because like I never thought about like an undergrad. Like, what am I going to graduate? Like I just knew like I have to graduate, and then
Yeah.
like for a master's, like okay, I don't have to do this. Like I can just leave if I want to. And so, like, not just leave what I want to, but also thinking about, like, okay, how do I want my life to look? And I think that was like the crisis is like really, and around that time, I think also going through a breakup. And so thinking of all those things of like, how do I want, like, not just my next 5 years, like, what do my next 10 years look like? And that's so, like, I think while in my 20s, like, I usually don't think that far. And I think, like, I don't need to, like, overly think about it, but beginning to just, like, have a vague, like, okay, these are certain things that I want to have in my 30s. So like what things do I need to do to set that up?
Yeah.
There's definitely an
I think
overarching
it's
theme here. Career
yeah.
goals will send you into a quarter life crisis.
Yeah, the career
Yeah.
gonna do it. 'Cause
Mhm.
literally, yeah, that's crazy that, like, it has such a, I guess, influence on just
Yeah.
life in general.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, Jewel, with your comment of thinking ahead in, like, the next 5 or 10 years, I think that's important. Obviously, you have to have some type of vision of where you wanna go and what you wanna do and what you wanna achieve. But I do think it's important not to overload it all in the present because then you kind of, I think that causes more crisis in your own, like, head. If you're just, like, thinking, "Okay, well," sometimes you just need to take things step by step and just think of, like, "Okay,
Yeah, for
what does
sure.
the next week look like? What does the
Yeah,
next,"
focus
like,
on
you
Mhm.
what's in
know,
front
like,
of you sometimes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's important, but it's also important not to get too caught up in the specifics because sometimes you'll have your plans and
Yeah,
who
they're
knows
not
what happens.
Something will
exactly.
come and shake it up. I feel like we all
And it
kinda
may be
struggle with that,
even
though.
more beautiful than what you
A lot
originally
of
had,
times
I
it
A lot of
thought.
times
is.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, not to say that it'll, like, your plans won't happen in a way that's negative. It's like it'll happen differently in a way that you didn't even expect, and it could be even better than
Even
you
better.
thought. So, yeah.
I definitely think that's, like, so true. Like, I guess, like, thinking about, like, how at maybe 20 or 18, 16, I don't know, whatever, imagining, okay, by this age, I will probably have a kid, about to be married, or whatever the case may be, or I thought I'll be living in a home. And then, like,
Mhm.
now, like, I love my life. I love the freedom that I have to, like, figure out things without having, like, being married or having a child where I have, like, other responsibilities. And so in this stage of my life, I'm able to go drive 40 minutes to go to a coffee shop and just spend that day with myself.
Yeah.
So it's like
True.
You
this
are the
this
priority.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and I think that kinda leans into what we talked about, like, social pressure, like, of everyone else, and I think this stage of life, everyone is doing something different, like, even within our friend group, we're all in different spaces, and we're all, like, around the same age. It's like some people are having kids, some people are working, some people are still in school, some people are backpacking across fucking Europe, like, literally
Some are
everyone,
married.
some are married, like, there's
Yeah.
just so much range in the 20s, and I think the social pressure of it all is just, like, a lot sometimes because it's a constant
Comparison.
self-check of, like, "Where am I at? Like, where do I measure up?" And, like, I think you're
And if you
exactly right,
add
it's just
social media to that, like,
yeah,
especially, like, and then, like,
Mhm.
comparing multiple things and, like, you can't have it all. So if you want, like, if you're looking at that person traveling, but then you also have this particular goal, you can't also travel, then want the house or want the, like, some of it's you have to think about what goals do you want for yourself and things like that, and then, just kinda,
exactly.
like, taking it, I guess, again, taking it day by day.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've even spoken about, like, where you see yourself, and do you think you are in the place that you saw yourself being at 24? We're 24, right? I'm like 25.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
what age are you saying though? Like, I guess, like, in high school? Like,
I
what
guess
ages?
just, yeah, like in high school, like maybe even in college. Like, do you think, I think, yeah, I'll let you guys answer
Okay.
first.
As far as, like, high school me picturing, like, back then what 24 me would look like, no. I thought at this
Yeah.
point I'd be in med school. Honestly, when I was, like, 14, I was like, "Yep, 25, married, 27 kids." It's not giving that at all. Also too,
Yeah.
like, once I got into college, I was like, "Okay, 24, first year of med school." Just sent those applications out. That's not so definitely different, but, like, I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the younger self, like, I think, like you said, you thought you were going to be married or have kids
Mhm.
at
Like, you
27.
with your friends, you're like,
The,
"Yep, I'm gonna get married at this
yeah.
age," and then no.
Right. I think sometimes your younger self looking back, you're like, "Okay, my younger self clearly didn't have any concept of time." Like, cuz like I'm the
Right.
same way. Like
Or
I'm
what
like,
it's
"Okay,
really like to
clearly
be
I."
24.
Yeah, I was like, "Clearly I didn't know what I was talking about thinking I'd have kids at 25." Like that's insane. Like so I'm definitely the same. Like I feel like I had a different expectation of where I'd be in life now versus when I was that age, and it was unrealistic. Like, I think I'm exactly where I need to be, and I don't feel bad about it, but I definitely had some unrealistic expectation.
I think also when you're a kid, like, the way I view 24 is different than how I
Old?
feel 24 because
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
24 was old. So I'm
Yes.
like, this is what I want at
Yes.
I thought it was
24.
way more mature
Yeah.
and way more
Yeah.
grown than it really is, or like what it feels like.
It's really not. I feel
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
big kid though. And honestly, like being in the workplace with people that are not like I work with like a handful of people that are my age, not many. Like I work with a lot of people in their 30s and some in their 40s, and they're like constantly reminding me that I'm a baby. And I'm like, thanks. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But like in our head we're like, oh my God, we're 24, like we should have all this figured out. And then like to other people in their 30s, they're like, girl, please. Even my mom is like, "Girl, your 20s are for literally figuring out yourself. Like, do not beat yourself up about that. Like, this is the time and the place. Like, please do it."
I had a moment where I was like giving someone that talk. So like my nursing school program ranges from 18 to like maybe 48. So like we
Oh.
got everybody in there. So it was like a girl who was 21 and she was just like, yeah, so last year I didn't get into the nursing program and it delayed my timeline of becoming a CRNA. And I was like, like when you're young like that, like I don't know how I said it. I don't know if I said young like that, but I was like, a year sometimes can feel like a lot, but a lot of times it's really not. And then that year you probably even more realized your passion for nursing and then you're like, "Oh, I want to continue doing this." So
Right.
I don't know. It just made me feel like, oh hey, giving the little pop. You're a baby.
Well, I guess on this topic and this current theme of having it together and what age or what you thought you'd be like at this point in life, what age do you guys think, if you could put a number on it, that you'll finally have it together?
I would hope 30. I'm not gonna put like a definite thing on
Yeah,
it. Y'all ever heard that thing? If you want to make God laugh, tell me your plans. I don't want
exactly.
to say 30 because he might be like, girl, it's 34. Hopefully 30. I hope 30.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what my habit together is to
Good
answer it.
Yeah,
point.
Like,
What does that
so
even mean?
exactly.
like how do we define having it together? For me, I would say having it together is like, um, I would say getting into my career because I feel like as far as like figuring out like friendship, not that like friendships don't change, but like I guess like friendships in the way of like being able to decipher that, and then like I guess um taking time for myself, I feel like I do that to find, I guess, find things that I like and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess I don't want to say, I can't even say age, but I feel like maybe like in a
Yeah.
year or two. But what is having it together? So
To me,
Yeah.
it's career. Like when I thought I have a thing, yeah, to me, it's career. Like I should be
Yeah.
settled, happy, good by 30.
it'd be like career is not everything, and that's
True.
that changes. If it,
Yeah. In terms of having it together, I'm thinking like career-wise, family-wise, mentally, physically, like I'm thinking just all around well-rounded. Like, and in that case, I don't think you ever have it together. Like I think life is just
that part.
a game of
I
like
think,
trying to get it together.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
you ever have it together for real. Like I like my
Hmm.
mom is still figuring things out. Like it's different things at different ages and different stages, but I don't think you're ever like, okay, I have it all figured out. Like,
Not every aspect. Maybe this one and that one, but not those two. You
yeah,
know?
like it's just a
Yeah.
constant game of like figuring it out for the rest of life for real. Like I don't
Because
know.
once you get one thing figured out, then you may have to go back to
Tired
that one
Something
because
already.
it's like
else.
you finally get your
Yeah.
kids in order. You finally had a kid. Then your kids are good. Then they get to high school. Maybe one kid acting up, and they got to deal with that. And it's
Not that
Now you
he acting up.
confused again.
Now you at the school every day. Like it's just something. Like
Now you got meetings with the teachers and stuff. Like,
it's
now you done
always
lost your job. Now you got to
something.
figure out your career again.
Yes,
right.
and then even when you get married, there's troubles with the marriage. You guys are gonna go through trials and tribulation. You're gonna deal with maybe like having a kid, finances. Like there's just always gonna be something to figure out. And I don't know if it's ever gonna be like it's just not all gonna be like I have it together. I think we trying like in life we all making it seem like we got it together. Nobody wants to
Mhm.
say like I don't have it together or look like they don't. Like everyone is trying to make it seem like they got it. But
Mhm.
everybody's trying to figure it out for real.
Yeah.
That's when
Nobody
you notice
actually
about your
has it
parents as you get
together.
older. You're like, "Wait, you ain't got it together like I thought you did."
You don't. Right. You're like, okay, girl, so you're literally still just a girl. Good to know.
Right.
You're just what did they say? The thing of, like, it's your parents' first time living on Earth too?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
That is so
Everyone's just
real.
trying to figure it out. And like,
Or you think back to like when you were little, you talk to your parents now, and you're like, wow, when I was 8 years old, you really didn't have it together. But when I was eight,
right.
it definitely looked like you did.
It did. It did. It seemed like you were handling your business. And honestly,
Right.
what is the saying too? More money, more problems. Like, we're
For
all chasing
sure.
success. More success comes with more issues. So it's like, when are we going to have it together? As long as we want to be successful, never. Because it's like,
Yeah.
it's just going to come with more things, taxes, like, who knows what else?
You get more money now, you're like, "Actually, I wanna put my kids in private school." Now you're trying to budget for private school. It's, like, always
It's just
something.
Yeah.
something. It's always going to
Now,
be
yeah.
something. So that I think that question is kind of like, for me, it's
Good
what is
question.
it? It's a trick question. Like,
Yeah.
there's no answer for me. I don't think.
Yeah. And if you try to have an answer, that's when you will lead to disappointment. You'll get to the age and be like, "Wait a second.
True, because that's the same
Wait
thing
a
we was just talking
second."
about when we was
Yes.
younger, and the expectation of us being this by
Mm-hmm.
24, and now we weren't, and
Right.
we're laughing at it. Like, how could you think that? Like, it's the same thing. It's
Right.
the same cycle.
Yeah. And I think without, like I guess, like I was saying earlier, like, it's good to, like, have, like, goals in mind, but then to still be present and then think about be grateful for the things that you do have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. And just to know,
Yeah.
everything may not go as planned, but everything will always work out as it's supposed to. Firm believer
Yeah.
in that. So just
Yeah.
also keeping that in mind, I feel like is really important.
Exactly. Like, even looking back at things that I panicked about, like in college or like in high school, and even like my story about being laid off in, when was that? Like 2022?
That was my 23rd
23,
birthday.
I'm
24.
lying. That was
You
not
graduated
22.
23. I'm like,
That
"Wait."
That
was
was 20.
that was my
That was
23rd birthday. It was
20.
2024.
It was January 2024. I was
Wow.
panicking. I was like, oh my God, my life is over. And
And you're in like such a much better, like completely different
such a much better, like, my
space
role
now.
is better. My job just feels more, my job just feels more purposeful. I really feel happier, and like, I thought that was the end of my world. So like, firm believer in that as well, Kaylin. Like,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason, and then also you're gonna end up exactly where you need to be in the timing that you need to be in it. Like, there's no need to stress on that.
Hmm. Amen. Wow.
Amen.
100% trust
We're
in God's
preaching.
timing. Yes.
Yes, we're preaching today, ladies.
Hmm. All right.
100%.
What's next? Ooh. How do you guys handle unsolicited advice in your 20s?
Well, I love that question. It makes me think about when we're in that Uber, in Charlotte, and that man Shay, do you remember what he was saying? Because I
Which
feel like you remember
man?
it better than me.
Yes, I do. Here's the thing. I'm
He was
always getting
basically
unsolicited
telling us that
advice.
men don't want women after their 20s, and he's 50 years old single.
I was thinking about another man in an Uber. It's always a man in an Uber
It's always
talking
the man in the
nonsense.
Uber. Always. And it's always a man like 40
Always.
plus.
And I'm like,
Leave me alone.
no shade, but I'm not taking my life's advice from the Uber driver that I met in a random city. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think
Thank you.
you're the one that can speak all this over my life. Like, I don't think you have that.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think that's.
I don't,
But
where are
yes,
the
I was
credentials?
talking about another man in the Uber, Jewel, but talk
Who were
about
you
your
talking
man in the
about?
Uber.
Because
I'm
I know
talking
who
about the
Jewel was
man in the
talking about.
Uber.
Yes, it was a man. Basically, we were talking about like relationships, breakups, and he was just like, so I was telling him about a breakup, and then he started literally unsolicited advice to like, yeah, y'all are young, y'all 20s. Men don't really be wanting men over their women over their 20s. Like, wait
But
a
it's like, who
second,
asked
sir.
you that? Did I ask you what men wanted?
And that's
And
not
Thank
true.
you.
that's
That's
Does
not
it
false.
look
You're
like I
literally.
care what a man wants?
that's not
That's where you
true.
had me messed up.
Exactly. That
Off
was where
rip.
you literally. That's literally where you had me messed up. He was spewing some nonsense though. Like, he was on some like
Yeah,
red pill craziness. Like, I was like, what you mean? Because I'm 30, or
I
if
can't
I'm
find a
40,
man.
whatever, a man not gonna want
If
me.
I'm
And you telling
62,
this to women
if
in
a
their
man,
20s?
I can find a man.
Thank you.
I don't know. I just feel like it was just like, who asked you, first of all? The man that I was talking about that gave unsolicited advice, he was an Uber driver. I don't remember what city we were in, but we were somewhere in the
Were we
US.
in DC
And
in the one you were talking about, Shay?
maybe, I don't remember, but we were
Because in
talking
Jules,
about
we were on
when.
the way to Eden. Sorry,
Mhm.
not
I
to cut you
think
off.
it
Wait, do
was
you
it
know
was
which one
one
I'm
in
talking
DC.
about?
We're talking about relationships and stuff, and he was like,
I didn't
you
even
know,
talk
if you
about him.
why all Ubers it is all men be giving the all
It's
nobody
always
extra
men in
advice.
an Uber. I'm talking about, this was years ago. We were still in college. Y'all, in college, for reference, I started a clothing business.
The one
And
in Atlanta.
we were in Atlanta. Okay, there we were. We were talking about just like a clothing business. He was talking, I guess he was into clothing, I don't know, on the side of his Uber hustle. No shade to him. But he was like, "Oh, how much money did you do in your first like month of sales?" And I was pretty proud of it because this was in the pandemic. I was doing it on my own. I didn't really have like a large base of people to be selling to based off like my community, only like my mutuals. And I think I had like made like $800 or $900 in sales. It was something like that. Like I think I was just like
Sounds pretty
barely
good to me.
below
Yeah.
in my first drop, right?
And you're a college
Obviously,
student doing this. This is
I'm a
not your
college
only
student.
gig. And even
Obviously, a
if
lot
it
of that
was your
money
only
has to
gig,
go into, right. Obviously, a lot of that money has to go back into the business. So it's not all profit. However, it was my net sales or whatever before reinvesting my money. This man, Jewel remembers. This
I
man was
remember he
like,
basically
he
said
was
ain't
like,
nothing.
he was like, "Oh, so you didn't do much at all." Excuse me, Mr. Uber driver.
Matter of fact, let me out the car.
Let me out. I'm good to let me out of Uber. Let me out. I'm good off this.
Like, it wasn't only
Yeah.
that, it was like he started to give advice as to how to make money in our 20s. Like, this no, and I remember asking him because I was like, okay, so now I'm curious. Since you saying that 900 ain't nothing, tell me, please. And he like, well,
Tell
you can just
me.
get an index fund and then that's not, I mean, yes, that's good information, but
He was
you're not
spewing
putting me onto like
LLC
a
BS. Get an
Uh,
LLC.
you're
and
not telling
then
me.
what?
thank you.
No, literally. He's like, yeah, I've run out cards or something. Like, tell me how you really making money. Like, if you have some
Sir,
secret.
Yeah.
leave me alone. How about that?
I don't know. And I'm not a person that's I appreciate advice. Like I think there's always something to learn from someone. However, I do think when it's unsolicited and it doesn't really make sense. Like I think sometimes people think, "Oh, cuz you're in your 20s, you're naive." I have a grasp on certain things. So when I'm listening to you giving me advice and I'm like, "Okay, that makes no sense." Then I'm almost like, "Okay, this is bullshit." No shade.
I think
All
that's
tea,
key,
though.
like finding a gym. Like, okay, I feel like I don't know why all the Uber men have been given bad advice, but there's some people who, even if it's like not, if good advice, bad advice, sometimes you can just find like a gem to take from it. It's like I'm not
You
gonna take
can.
everything, but
You take
okay, I
certain
hear you on
things. You
that.
take what you need.
Yeah.
You take what you need and you leave everything else because like unsolicited advice is like it's what is it? Like everyone has an opinion. What is it? Assholes, everybody got one? Something like that. You don't need
Oh,
everybody's
opinions are
opinion.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody got one.
Not
Hmm.
every time you need everyone's opinion. And I think sometimes people um give you their opinion out of not the most genuine intention. And I think sometimes when people see you in a space that they weren't in, or sometimes they're having a harder time at an older age to get there. I think sometimes they give you advice with not the purest intention behind it. And I've had a lot of that in my
Yeah.
life. And I'm just like, okay, because you couldn't do it, you're giving me your advice off of your experience. And that does not reflect what I
That's
have
nothing to do with
going
me.
on
Thank you.
at
True.
all.
And sometimes it's not even like ill will. It's like so someone like I think they're just coming from their limited perspective. Like I remember a
Exactly.
long time ago I said I wanted to be a doctor and then the lady's like, "Why don't you want to be a nurse?" Like a nurse is and it's like not to like I think it's if I said something about nursing, yes, then say, I mean, that's what I'm doing now. But like I feel like it was almost to say like, all right, why you want to go that high? Just stay where you at. Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Don't tell me to limit myself. Do
I said what I
not.
said.
And I'm the type of person, if you try to diminish me or like put me down, I'm gonna go extra hard just to prove you that I can do exactly what you said I couldn't, or you thought I couldn't, just to prove the point. Cause like I'm that petty. Like now what?
Yeah. Also, too, Ashay, I remember you saying when you were moving to New York, you were getting a lot of
Yeah,
unsolicited advice that you did not appreciate.
yeah. Honestly, like moving to New York for me it didn't seem like a big decision. Like I was just like, I need a job. I want to work in fashion. New York is where that's at. I have family in New York. My family is originally from there. So it didn't feel like a big move. And when I was like telling people like post graduation that was my plan, I got like a lot of unsolicited advice about that. And it frustrated me because I was just like, this is something that I was really excited about. So I was just like, the fact that I got a lot of unsolicited advice is why I shouldn't move to New York. Like, New York is crazy. It's all major cities have something crazy going on. The crime is
Yeah.
always up everywhere. This is America.
Right.
Everything is crazy.
It's
I'm
always
not gonna lie.
expensive.
Something. So it was
Always
just like I was
something.
getting a lot of that, and I was just like, dang, like this is a time where I'm obviously like first job out of college, really excited about it. And I felt like I was met with a lot of like people, I guess, reflecting their negative opinions and experience on me. And not to say New York is peaches and rainbows, but it was a time where I was really excited, and I didn't like that because it was just like, this is unsolicited. Like, no, I didn't ask you. I don't recall asking about any of that. So thank you, but unsolicited
And I
advice and
think
me, we don't go together because I don't want to
yeah.
get rude. I don't,
Yeah. I think also, like, when people I remember you kinda saying people that were saying that about New York are people who never left New York. They, like, they grew
yeah,
up there, stayed there. So, like, their
yeah,
perspective is different from you graduating college and then moving there, like,
exactly.
going there
Like,
for a
I'm like,
different
babe,
reason.
I'm not chilling on the block. I'm going to corporate
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
not
going
hanging
downtown and
out.
I'm going to yeah,
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 I'm like, I'm not hanging out. No shade, but like that's just not my reality of what I'm coming to do. So that's your reality because that's what you do. But like, this is more of a career move. This is not moving to chill with the homies.
yeah. And it's like you said,
So
you had people there, so it wasn't like you were just
uh,
yeah. I
it
feel like it
just
was just
felt
all
like
unnecessary.
it was just very unnecessary. And I try my best not to do that to younger people that have like, even like Jewel, how you said like you want to be a doctor, and then the lady goes, "Oh, well, why don't you want to be a nurse?" I'm not the type of person, especially with children, when they tell you your dreams. I'm not the type of person to counter that or like, because that sticks with you. Like I don't know what age that
Yeah.
happened, but that sticks with you. And like I, I'm a firm believer, and you can do whatever the hell you want as
And
long as you
I
have a plan.
think
You can do it.
And I think if it was like, I don't know her reasoning for saying it, but if it came from like based on her knowing me and saying, no, I feel like you fit for this, but it was not like that type of thing.
Yeah,
Because like I'm in nursing now and it wasn't like, oh, I want to do this because I feel like it's easy or anything, but it's something that I found passion for. But I feel like her reasoning was like, oh yeah, like, that's a lot. Just go
yeah,
Yeah,
ahead, do
that's too
this.
much. Just go with nursing. I said I want to be a doctor. Why
exactly,
is this conversation going in that direction?
exactly, exactly. The only thing my mom was really good at pushing me towards everything. I did a lot of like hobbies and stuff growing up. She was really good at like telling me do whatever I want to do. Like I was in like so many things. She used to buy me the equipment every single time. I would change my mind all the time. I want to do dance. I want to be in the band. I want to do this. She was forever on my
Shout out
side.
Miss
The only
Adana.
thing,
Oh,
yes, shout out my mom. The only thing where she was like,
Disney Channel.
Disney Channel.
not
Singing.
this, no, not. I told her I wanted to be a singer, and she was like, mm-mm. She was like, no.
Oh, she had to
Not
keep it real with
down.
you on that one.
Not
She
Mm-mm.
kept it real with me. But
Maybe
honestly,
something
other than
else.
that, she was like, anything else. That is not it. But other than that, like, I think that's important to have that growing up. Like, somebody that's constantly cheering you on in your corner. And especially as you go into adulthood, too, where we're still figuring it out. Like, someone that's just like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, I could see that because it's like someone that's doing the opposite and telling you no is not helpful. And I think everyone needs like a personal cheerleader. Like, you know, I feel like that's
No, for
important.
sure, for sure. I think that can
Read.
go into our next question, as far as how did your relationship with your family change since entering
But yeah.
adulthood?
I touched on that a little bit. Um, for me, how did my relationship with my family change? Um, I feel like kind of what we already touched on, like as far as like making decisions on your own. Even though I'm still very much the type to be like, "Mom, what do I do?" But
Yeah.
yeah, I think making certain decisions on your own and your parents trusting you to do that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of in that aspect.
I'm also the same where I definitely run everything by my mom, but there is like kind of like dialogue in our conversation where she'll flip it back to me and be like, I mean, what makes sense? Like, what do you think? Like, it's not her just telling me what to do. It's almost her like
Mhm.
asking the question so I can make that decision on my own for a lot of things. Um, but I definitely seen more of like uh me and my mom relate more on like a womanhood level now that I'm like becoming a woman. Like it's more so obviously she's still my mom, but like there's certain things that I could bring to her, and she gives me more womanly advice than like motherly advice. It's always a little bit of both, but we definitely
Yeah.
connect on that too.
Mhm.
I definitely agree. I feel like in some moments, like my mom is like a mentor. Um, like in certain ways, it's like, all right, it's like I ask her for something, but it's like, okay, I guess moms are just they play multiple roles, but like
Yeah.
I think it's more I get a lot more of like, okay, we're collaborating. Like, all right, so this is what I'm thinking, like, would this financially make sense or things like that.
Okay, so now we can get into hot takes and heartbreaks. My hot take for today is that everyone should live alone in their 20s. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I think, um, Julie, you're the only one that's like actually have experience like living alone.
Yeah.
I have to say for me, that was something always I knew like before I get married, like I wanted to experience living by myself. Um, because like just having my own routine, having like I guess being able to fully decorate my place the way I want to, because like when I get married, I won't be able to have right now pink on my walls and super girly. I love the vibe of this place now. So it's always something I wanted to have myself. And then like I really love just being able to like just have the freedom to come home and just like decompress by myself. But then I feel like on the flip side of that, like it is lovely living alone, but sometimes like the community of like it's like thinking about back to living in dorms when you have like a lot of people around all the time, or like living with my family and just like even if I don't really feel like talking, like just being able to sit and chill with somebody is cool. So I love it. Like definitely like my own peace and just like my own schedule. Like I was telling y'all, open the kitchen up, close the kitchen down. Got my little business running here. So I love that.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
I agree with your hot take. I think that is definitely a pivotal time of like I'm saying that and I haven't experienced it, but I do think like it is a time where you kind of get to find yourself a little bit more um and really establish a routine and a lifestyle. I think you have that when you're living with people, but I think it's like fully focused on you and I think it's important. It's definitely something that I am very excited about in my 20s this chapter. I would do some strange things right now to live alone.
Ayo. No, yeah,
It definitely is worth it.
I haven't experienced living alone either. I still live at home, which I love because I don't pay rent, but I do want to experience living alone. Um, Pretty soon, yeah. Especially because like I see my friends that live alone, like Julie alone. Jordan's been living alone for a while, and it's just seems so nice having your everything just be your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Think definitely appreciating where you guys are now, like being able to live out family and stuff like that. Like it's so cool. Like I definitely love living by myself, but I think like I be missing my family, just being able to just like sit and watch TV with them. I mean, right now I have a dog, so like that's fine. But I think definitely being intentional about like trying to hang out with friends, like um and making friends, I guess, in this city, so I'm not just here by myself. So
Yeah. I agree. I don't think I'll miss that aspect of living alone. Of living with family though when I'm living alone. Like I personally like I'll come over and watch TV. Like I don't need that. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I really want to watch TV with somebody. I'm also the type of person where I thrive being by myself. Like I'm okay with like being alone sometimes. So I don't know if that's something I'd really miss of living with family. And if I do, then I'll just come over because
yeah.
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 And then on like a much lighter note about living alone, and I remember I used to ask Jordan this a lot, like when she like first moved into her place, like I'm like, girl, you ever be scared? And then also too, if I see a bug in my house, I don't
I
know what
feel
I'll do.
bad. I feel
I don't know
bad.
what I'll do. I'm terrified. I'm not sleeping there. I don't know what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do.
It's at this end.
Just have it.
Yeah. This is
I'm
your
cool.
house. Matter of fact, pay the rent, pay the water, pay the lights. You can have it.
Take care of it.
You can have all the snacks that's in the cabinet. It's yours now.
Oh my gosh. No, literally.
Safety though is something that like I don't think I'm nervous about because I feel like I talk to like family every day, so like everybody knows what's going on, and then I like made sure that like the apartment I live at, you have to like buzz in, so like people that's not in here. So I do like that as well, like that I feel safe.
Yeah. Especially with us being women, that safety aspect is like really important. So I'd be like, y'all ever be scared by yourself?
Okay. So for our So for our Be So Serious today, I wanted to specifically talk about Gen Z in the workplace, just to kind of tie into how we've spoken about career and just like where we see ourselves and what that looks like in comparison to other generations. So I pulled an article and it pretty much highlighted how Gen Z values flexibility and purpose over long term stability. Unlike millennials and Gen X, who were more on the climb the corporate ladder. So, my question to you is, do you consider that more of a lazy mindset, or are we just more realistic than other generations in that way? Because I feel like when it's time to like choose jobs and where we want to work, we're not staying in positions that are unfulfilling and don't serve us and we're not happy. Like we're the generation that's like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Like we're not just staying at jobs to build our bank account and 401k and retire. Like we're putting ourselves
Yeah.
first. So what do you guys
I feel
think?
like I feel like that's the whole thing, like putting ourselves first.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more important to younger generation.
Yeah.
Which I actually have not really I don't want to talk too much about it. But I recently had somebody leave my job because she was like, mentally I just don't want to deal with it anymore. It was a lot. And she was like, I'm getting
Yeah.
up out of here. So like that's an example. Like if people aren't just mentally with it, they're leaving. Which honestly,
Yeah.
love that because these jobs be
Yeah, I love that this generation, Gen Z that we are. And by the way, Gen Z, for people that are listening and don't know, that is people born between the year of 1997 and 2012. So it's a big span of time, but I do feel like a lot of us are either in our 20s and early 30s. Like I think 1997 is like what, like early 30s. So it's like
Mm-mm.
people that are like joining the
97 is
workplace.
27.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That's the 28.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like
The
30 would
28.
be 95.
Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
late 20s, early 20s, and then like people that are the babies, but we're not talking about them. The people that are in Gen Z that are in the workforce and pursuing careers, I love that we are more mental health focused in terms of what we want to do in life. Like we are definitely chasing our goals. However, we're not chasing our goals and sacrificing our mental health in
Yeah.
order to achieve them. And I think that's very important in the whole topic of quarter life crisis, where it's like we may still be like having these like internal battles, but like we're not putting ourselves in situations where our mental health is ultimately taking a hit.
Yeah, we're not sacrificing our well-being, which
I
I
Yeah,
love.
think And I think we're advocating for different things. Like, if your job not trying to give you your 15-minute break, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna advocate for my break. Like, I need a second.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
I need a
give me my
second.
time
yes,
because y'all
I
just
need
worked the
that.
heck out of me.
I need to
Yes,
take a
Yeah.
walk. I
when
need
I
it.
had
I
first
need a
started
snack.
Literally, when I had first started my job, I used to take an hour lunch break and go outside and sit like in the sun and like literally touch grass. I don't do it anymore.
No.
I should, because I don't have the time. Like it was a little bit crazy to do that every day for an hour, but like I was like making it a point to like go outside and sit and eat my lunch because I need my hour break. Like I'm not gonna sit here and work myself to death at my desk all day. I now eat my lunch at my desk, which I should be better about. I don't know, but you got to take that time. And I think we're very adamant about like giving ourselves rest in order to achieve our goals.
Yeah, and I feel like when you rest, like you can come back and work even harder, like than trying to just keep pushing through. Like breaks are
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like another thing too is we're realizing that like to these big companies and certain businesses, like we're just a number.
Just
Like you're
number.
just an employee. They'll get rid of you and get somebody else in here. Blink of an
Right.
Yeah.
eye without thinking twice. So I feel like
Literally.
that also plays a role.
Yeah. So I agree with everything that we talked about. I think so for in summary, for my Be So Serious, you guys need to be so serious and continue putting your mental health first throughout a quarter life crisis. take your rest, take your break, still chase your goals, but don't burn yourself out in the process because it's not realistic.
Yeah. Keep
For
being
sure.
serious is the be so
Mhm.
serious.
Yes, keep being serious.
Hmm.
And I feel like to wrap, like, everything into a nutshell as far as, like, the quarter life crisis is, like,
Child, we're not there yet.
we don't even have to have everything together. Like, I think, like, social media, like, does, like, the way I guess everyone portrays themselves, like, no one wants to show social media, like, the true
Really?
actually, there is a trend going around, like, truths of, like, whatever age, and I think those are pretty cool sometimes, like, things that I'm not
Yeah.
ashamed of of my age. But even stuff like that is still social media and curated, but I think, like, not comparing on social media. And what was the quote
Yeah.
of the week? "Comparison is a thief of joy." So
Comparison is the thief of joy. Like, literally, when you're comparing yourself to other people, to other things on social media, like, it's just no way that that's realistic for you in your life.
okay, so I definitely feel like to wrap this up, I would say my piece of advice for quarter life crisis is not comparing yourself. And so the quote up today will be comparison is a thief of joy. So take time to embrace and be grateful for the things that you have in life.
Yeah. I love that.
Hmm.
Honestly, I feel like mine is on a similar uh theme of that. I'd say um know that everything happens for a reason, and you look back and time flies and you look back and you're like, wow, I've accomplished so many things, so many of my goals, like things that I even had set out for myself that were small. I think it's important to realize that you're constantly accomplishing your goals, and it might not feel like it in the moment, but when you look back, you are. So everything happens for a reason, and, trust that it all works out.
Yes, I would say celebrate the small things, like the small wins. Also, know that everything works out how it's supposed to, and try to make peace with that, even though it's hard to, especially in moments where like you're disappointed. But just always keep that in mind.
Yes. I love those. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into our quarter life crisis episode. Does anyone have anything else before we
Yes.
wrap?
I would say please comment if you have any similarities to any of our quarter life crisis or
Yeah.
comment your own. Well, truly comment your own. I want to hear you guys. It's what we want to hear for quarter
Yeah.
life
Let us know if
crisis
you
or whether you
have
have
gone
it.
through one, if you're going through one, all the things.
Yes. Let us know all the things in the comments. If you could relate to anything that we said, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify,
Share. Mhm.
share, Apple, YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Literally follow us everywhere at Sweet 230 Pod. Um, what else? We
Tell a friend to tell a
are,
friend.
yeah, we're 3 episodes in, going strong, and very excited. So keep spreading the word. We appreciate these episodes. Let us know more topics. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.